To start with Jan Shaw, who has a reading for us. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you, Karen. This reading is from American Jewish World Service, and it's called This Hanukkah, Choose Light. Each year, the story of Hanukkah reminds us that it's in our power to overcome insurmountable odds. When the Maccabees, surrounded and outnumbered, faced the ancient Syrian Greeks, they did not despair. They fought fiercely against the forces that wanted to oppress them. And when they reclaimed the temple and realized they had only enough oil to kindle the menorah for one night, they lit their flame, trusting that a miracle would extend this light. Our tradition beckons us to choose to act in the face of the challenges before us. We can choose courage in the face of fear and choose hope in the face of anguish. Our world has faced innumerable obstacles this year, but just as our ancestors did, together we can choose light. As you light each candle this Hanukkah, we invite you to reflect on how you're choosing light and justice this year. I choose light by illuminating the path to a better, brighter, more equitable world for all. I choose joy by savoring each opportunity to celebrate, no matter how small. I choose dignity by working to uphold the inherent worth of every human being. I choose generosity by gifting my time, talents, and resources to help others. I choose connection by deepening my relationships with friends and loved ones and expanding my circles to build kinship with people whose lives are different from my own. I choose community by joining together to realize our shared vision of Tikkun Olam, working to repair our world. I choose action by raising my voice to fight the injustices all around us. I choose justice by living my values and rededicating myself toward building a world where all people, the A is missing from there, all people can realize their full human rights.
Jan, thank you so much. I really appreciate you doing that reading. And now we go to another board member. We go to Amy Lehman and her family, who are going to, as we light our candles, they're going to do the first blessing. And then we'll go to board member, these are all board members who are leading, by the way, Marcy Weinstein and her family to do the second blessing. So I will turn it over to Amy and Aaron. And I think we're...
Yeah. Okay. Amy and Aaron and Ian and Teddy.
Ian and Teddy. Yes, thank you.
Okay, go ahead. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Hanukkah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavotenu b'yamim hahem b'zman hazeh.
Who has a reading for us as well. Oh, I think we want to.
Thank you. This is excerpted from an article that was in the forward on December 9th. It's by Dr. Ronald Wolfson, a professor of education at the American Jewish University in Los Angeles. God willing, next year on Hanukkah, we can gather again in our synagogues to celebrate the miracles of hope and resilience, of victory over this invisible enemy. I recently learned that many Black churches in the South mount an annual homecoming event, inviting people to gather for a reunion. There is song, ritual, and a meal. is not just for the current members of the church. A special effort is made to welcome back former members. No questions asked, just come on home. There is no denying the pandemic has caused a decline in synagogue membership, even in many of our largest congregations. On this Hanukkah, let's begin planning our homecomings for next year. I get goosebumps just imagining these celebrations. We will turn on the lights of our darkened sanctuaries. We will fill the seats with young and old, raising our voices once again in a chorus of thanksgiving, unfettered by masks. We will be unafraid to touch, to hug, to kiss. We will light the Hanukkah. We will experience a true Hanukkah, a physical rededication of our sacred gathering places. We will praise the first responders, the doctors, the scientists, and all those who brought us through the pandemic. We will pray ancient words that have a new meaning. Praise to you, our God, sovereign of the universe, who performed wondrous deeds for our ancestors in those ancient days at this season. On Hanukkah this year, may God bless all those who shine light in the darkness, instilling hope in our hearts, bringing us to our next Hanukkah in joy, in happiness, and in health. Amen.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I think the image, and hi, Carol. Thank you. I appreciate so much the image of lighting up our sanctuary again and being able to be in it and to all be together. I really appreciate the opportunity with these nights that we've had during Hanukkah to be able to light our candles together. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Matthew Falcone, who's going to talk about a book that he brought to my attention and to Rabbi Bizno's attention about the ninth night of Hanukkah. It's a children's book, and I think there's a wonderful lesson in it for us. So with that, we'll hear from Matthew Falcone, who's the Senior Vice President of the board.
Many Falcones at that. So as all of you can imagine, my life at the moment is filled with children's books. And one of the most exceptional ones that we have read recently is called The Ninth Night of Hanukkah. And in the book itself, there's a new family that moves to a new town, and in their apartment building, they realize that they don't have anything to actually put together Hanukkah. They have no menorahs, no gelt. And so all the denizens of the apartment building come together and then are able to provide them kind of different offbeat elements to bring Hanukkah to life. And the family then recognizes that Hanukkah was only made possible by all of these different helpers. And then to help celebrate that and help celebrate all of the people that were able to make Hanukkah happen for them, they decided to recognize them on the ninth night of Hanukkah and use the Shamash to recognize all of the help that has brought kind of the Hanukkah into being. And so for me, it very much has kind of ignited an interest in acknowledging the folks who have helped us bring this Hanukkah into being, and how over the course of the year, there have been so many different helpers that have gotten us all through the year. So it's our intent as a board to be able to kind of reflect on this over the next few nights, and on the ninth night of Hanukkah this year, to be able to reach out to those individuals who have helped us along the way throughout the course of the year. And I hope that you will also consider doing the same. And on that note, I say happy Hanukkah from all of the Falcones and happy holidays.
Wearing an electric sweatshirt.
That is a great sweatshirt. Thank you so much, Matthew. I've been thinking a lot about what gets us through these dark months ahead. I think that it's really fitting that we're all sharing light with each other, and I'm sure we're going to reflect on this light in these months ahead. You know, there is a distant light at the end of the tunnel, but we have some months to get through. And I've thought about how some of us turn to music or reading or humor. I think particularly about music and humor for myself, and I think about them together. And so I wanted to share with you, my brother called me late Saturday night and said, why have we never heard this song before? So 30 years before Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song, Tom Lehrer wrote a song called I'm Spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica. And we have a little video to play for you. And then after that, we'll all turn on our screens and talk to each other.
I'm spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica, wearing sandals, lighting candles by the sea. I spent Shavuos in East St. Louis, a charming spot, but clearly not the spot for me. Those eastern winters, I can't endure 'em, so every year I pack my gear and come out here till Purim. Rosh Hashanah I spend in Arizona, and Yom Kippur way down in Mississippi. But in December, there's just one place for me. Amid the California flora, I'll be lighting my menorah like a baby in his cradle. I'll be playing with my dreidel, spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica by the sea. I'm spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica, wearing sandals, lighting candles by the sea. I spent Shavuos in East St. Louis, a charming spot, but clearly not the spot for me. Those eastern winters, I can't endure 'em, so every year I pack my gear and come out here till Purim. Rosh Hashanah I spend in Arizona, and Yom Kippur way down in Mississippi. But in December, there's just one place for me. Amid the California flora, I'll be lighting my menorah like a baby in his cradle. I'll be playing with my dreidel. Here's the Judas Maccabeus. Boy, if he could only see us spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica by the sea.
All right. Well, I think we can all unmute and